Heavy is the head that has to manage all of this.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel.
We're now incentivized to buy what we already buy.
Fumbling through college had me building.
I also got some done on the other side.
And that was right around, I would say, May, maybe, right before renewing the lease for this property. Welcome to the channel, Martha.
Thank you for having me here.
Oh, I was going to say, I am getting up there in age, I'll tell you what.
Bills paid by other people, life was never this good. I had to step back.
What would you do if you woke up tomorrow and were instantly a millionaire? What would you do if someone handed you a check for $1 million and told you that you can do whatever you want with this money? There is absolutely no time limit. What would you do? Let me know in the comment section down below. You see, today, the first thing I would do is take 48 hours, maybe even a week, 7 days, to identify exactly what I want to do with this money. And already, I have increased the likelihood of me multiplying that money far more than had I just took the first thing that came to mind. Whether it's the stock market, whether it's real estate, the fact that I took 7 days to analyze everything, I promise you, I have already made 10% more on that investment. $100,000 more on that investment. You see, that is why I analyze my portfolio every single year in the stock market, because I easily average about 28% every single year. On a $50,000 account, I was able to generate over $18,000 from August to August. From August 2023 to August 2024, $18,000 on a $50,000 account. You do the math. You do the percentages. I showed you my stock market portfolio just recently. And I do apologize about me touching my nose. Sometimes it gets really, really itchy when I'm doing my videos. I absolutely hate that. So I do apologize, people. You know, when we talk about assets, sometimes you got to talk about asset protection, you know. And a lot of people think, oh, the first thing I'm going to do is buy a $500,000 home. How are you going to protect it? What do you know about rental property investments? You're buying a $500,000 home, but is it an asset or a liability? Are you buying something that is going to go up in value or down in value? A personal home is not going to make you financially free. As long as you have a mortgage on that thing, financial freedom, it may just be out of reach, because at the end of the day, those who have a personal home also need the stock market just to reach millionaire status. Just to reach millionaire status. If all you have is a primary home, you are going to be in desperate need of the stock market to reach millionaire status. With that being said, what would you do if you had $1 million fall in your laps today? You see, a lot of things would not change in my life, to be completely honest with you, because a lot of things that I have equal up to, the assets would equal up to $1 million. And how I choose to live my life would not change because of an additional million. Because what happens is, you know, those who acquire this type of wealth tend to acquire it over time. And when you acquire something over time, slow and steady, you learn to not take things at face value. You're not trying to just blow through money and spend money recklessly as your counterparts would. Because one thing that I've always tried to do is to not be like everybody else. I hear on the news all the time, Americans are $4,000 in debt, $6,000 in credit card debt, $20,000 in student loan debt, can't afford a home to live in. Groceries are too expensive. Back to school shopping, $39 billion is being spent on back to school shopping. Americans are struggling. People are losing their jobs. When you lose a job, it's as if you lost a family member or a loved one. People are having heart attacks because they can't afford health coverage. All this negative press, all this negative news. And I just said I don't want to be like any of it. When I heard the average person owns their home for about 5 to 7 years or refinances every 5 to 7 years, guess what? I said no. I will be in my home longer than that. I will not refinance my home. I will not leave my home. And if I do, I won't sell it. And so, the thinking behind that is, as soon as you get a little bit of equity, the banks want to take it from you. As soon as you start paying yourself first with principal pay downs and start to earn more than the interest is on that account, the banks want you to now refinance, get a HELOC, do this, open up a line of credit, be in more debt. And although that is a tax write-off, and if used wisely, you can invest and multiply your money like you have never done in your lifetime, the average person would not do so. The average person would spend it all, upgrade, repairs, so that they can move into a new property, so that they can buy a liability for themselves for a longer period of time. And we all know that mortgage is I believe French or Latin for something till death. So it's essentially supposed to be till death. You're not supposed to get out of it. And banks try their hardest to ensure that you are always in debt. So I really do applaud those, especially those that I know, who really talk about not even buying a home with a mortgage, not paying a mortgage, not even taking out a credit card is really commendable, because you're not even tempted by the wants of society and of the world today. And so you don't have to live within the societal norms. And although I take out mortgages, although I take out credit cards, I don't allow myself to overindulge. I don't allow myself to be in credit card debt or have car loans. I don't allow myself to be in debt for anything that isn't an investment and earning me more money, more passive income, more cash flow than the debt itself. And so when I ask you, what would you do with $1 million? Your answer is probably starting to change. Your answer is probably starting to be reformed. Maybe you don't want to spend it in a week. Maybe you might want to start to read a couple of these books first. Maybe you might want to have some knowledge on what it is that you might want to, do with that money. Maybe these books might be the first thing you need in order to really start to identify what it is that this money should be put into use with. You understand? Because knowledge is power. And a lot of the times, in this case, if you know nothing of finance, if you've never took the time to research and study finance, the best thing you can do is pick up a book. Pick up a $10 book and make your new net worth $999,990 plus tax. Minus tax, I would say. So I say all that to say, if this is your first time listening to me, let's get in with this channel. The best thing that you can do is start to learn, start to study, start to understand more about what this life has to offer to you. You would be amazed at all that you can learn within this life. All these billions and billions of people in this world, but only a fraction actually understand money. actually understand finance and don't want to be like everyone else. They want to be smarter. They want to have understanding. They want to live a life in which they are in control, in which they are not like everybody else. And you have to be confident enough to say, and humble enough to say, that everybody else is failing at life. I don't want to fail in that manner. I want to rise up. I have to be different because average is losing. And that's why I say people who play sports, people who have been competitive by nature, tend to be the most likely to succeed because they already have it in them to win. And right now, life is absolutely winnable. By the time you are in your 20s to 65 years old, you have 45 years to win at life. And ironically, the average age of a millionaire begins at 45 years old. So for all of you watching my channel who are under 40 years old, thinking there's no way I can possibly reach millionaire status, there is absolutely a chance for you. Because the average person who is a millionaire tends to reach it right around 45 years of age. And if you think I'm going to be 65 and become a millionaire, less than 10% of people reach millionaire status after 65 years old. So it is less likely that by the time you're supposed to retire, that you reach millionaire status, because most people are no longer working. Most people are now starting to spend that money that they worked so hard to achieve. And so you want to start to hit the ground running right now, today, and say, I can't be like everybody else. If everybody is in Sephora, if everybody is on Amazon buying this new thing and not buying the stock itself, I don't want to be a part of that. You have to make that conscious decision for you, your loved ones, your family. And understand that, you know what? If I had that $1 million today, I'm going to figure out how to multiply it. A lot of people talk about doubling money. They've never doubled a damn thing in their life. I talk about percentages because I know what life is. It's all about percentages and understanding how far I can get with that $1 million. 10% this year, 20% this year, 28% this year. Those are the percentages that we work off of. How much can I compound this money? How much dividends will I earn every single month? What is the interest that I can get in a certificate of deposit while I wait to figure out what I'm going to do with this money? How am I going to split this into different CDs, because most banks only insure up to $250,000, and I do not want my money to not be FDIC insured. These are the things that I look at within that process to ensure that I am absolutely positively making the best decisions for my money. And just like I said in the last video, you want to make things happen and not have life happen to you. It is so easy to make poor decisions with newfound wealth and opportunity. But with newfound wealth comes opportunity, and that is also a blessing. So you want to be able to take advantage of those opportunities the right way the first time and not have to learn from your own mistakes, but learn from others. If you like this video, make sure you leave a like, comment, and subscribe to the channel. You know I post every single day at 8 a.m. daily on YouTube, Rumble, and now on Spotify for podcasting. And I can't wait to see you on the next one. Peace.